If I'm going to find a theme in Little Red Riding Hood, I have my examples of some abstract ideas like obedience and danger and vigilance even. So the first thing I do is I write down the author believes that, and I'm going to finish up this sentence, and I want the sentence to be long, and I never want to do something that's just like is important, is good, or is bad. Like I don't want to say obedience is good or danger is bad, or vigilance is important. I want to really think about like why is it important, or how is it good, or how is it bad. So in Little Red Riding Hood, if I want to pick one of these, I'm going to pick obedience because her mom told her not to stop and talk to anybody in the woods, and then she didn't, and that's why she got eaten. And so did her grandmother. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a word with a sentence rather, with obedience in there. So I could write it this way. I could say the author believes that obedience to those safe, right? So that way, that's how your sentence could be. Like the author believes that obedience, blah, blah, blah. Obedience doesn't have to be at the very beginning of the sentence. So for example, I could write, the author believes that you should be obedient to your parents because they know best, right? Okay. So once you have one of these two sentences, what you're going to do is you're literally just going to cross out the words, the author believes that. You can then capitalize that letter, right? Or we could have done for this sentence. These are the exact same things. I'm just showing it how there's no one right way to write it. Okay. And what I have left over is a theme statement. Obedience to those wiser than you can keep you safe. That right there is a theme. So after my theme, I'm going to put an example that shows that that is true. And for like a novel, I want to put down 2 or 3 examples. And so for like a short story, I might only have one. And I would write something like, you'll notice in my example, I tried to go ahead and use whichever word it was that I decided to use. Like this one is, right, the obedience one. And I want to try to use that somewhere in here. And so you can see I just did a different part of speech on it. Okay, I can do a theme instead of the obedience one. I could do one about vigilance, right? So the author believes that people who are not vigilant against dangers will people. So what you're going to see what I did right for this one is I actually combined two of them together. So I said to myself, okay, I'm talking about being vigilant. And that one's right there. And then I'm going in, I'm talking also at the same time. So if you're ever like not really sure what to write in your theme sentence, try seeing if maybe you could add another one of those abstract ideas. And so I need to cross out the author believes that. I need to capitalize my P of people. I need to double check it's a complete sentence that is not specific to Red Riding Hood. People who are not vigilant against dangers will fall prey to mishap. And then what will be my example? And I will talk about how probably honestly how she didn't notice that the grandmother had these weird eyes and ears, and she wasn't very vigilant to the fact that it was obviously not her grandmother. And because of that, she missed the danger of the wolf and the wolf ate her. So the idea is that I'm going to use my example that's going to show a lack of vigilance against danger. So that's kind of real quickly how to make theme and then kind of prove it. Before you write this theme, you are thinking about your examples. You're not just like coming up with a sentence. But so you just kind of think about, okay, what happens? Who's obedient or not obedient, and what happens because of it, or who's not vigilant or is vigilant, and what happens because of it. And you kind of are able to develop this. A lot of the times it's easy to start your sentence over here with people should or people should not, the way I did down here. You should. And the easiest thing to do instead of saying you is to actually make it a people. So that's a little bit about how to take any story and develop a universal theme that conveys the opinion of the author about how the world does or should work.